It is the chapter which lays the foundation for your organic chemistry. The word organic chemistry came from the word organism. So this is the main thing which you need to keep it in mind. Carbon can form 4 bonds. Every bond is written in the form of a dash or a line. So these dash lines are taken out. CH2 is written, only carbon double bond is shown. Hello my dear students, a warm welcome. I, Priyanka Rajaram from Vidyashram PU College shall start with a new chapter, that is Organic Chemistry, some basic principles and techniques. This is one of the important chapters, or I can tell it is the chapter which lays the foundation for your organic chemistry in your first year as well as your second year. So what are we going to study in this chapter? First, we'll study about what does organic chemistry actually mean and different organic compounds or the classification of organic compounds, and then the most important terminologies, what does it mean, how to name an organic compound, how to extract an organic compound, etc., which we will be studying in this particular chapter. First of all, what is organic chemistry? The word organic chemistry came from the word organism. That means it is a study of compounds which was extracted from vegetables or animal. Okay, or these are compounds which were found as vegetable origin or the animal origin. Berzelius told us, first, he's the first person who actually explained about organic compounds. He told there is a special force or the vital force in animals and plants which can make these organic compounds. So that theory was called as vital force theory. But this particular theory was disapproved by F. Wohler, where he synthesized an organic compound using inorganic compounds. Okay, so earlier it was believed that the organic compounds are prepared or it can be got only from animals and plants. Okay, it cannot be synthesized at all. But F. Wohler was the first person to synthesize organic compounds, that too accidentally, from inorganic compounds, ammonium cyanate. He used ammonium cyanate. When he heated that, he got urea, which is an organic compound. This disapproved Berzelius. Also, later in 1845, Kolbe synthesized acetic acid. Also, methane was synthesized by Berthelot in 1856, in which showed that the organic compounds can be synthesized from inorganic compounds. Okay, so what are organic compounds? Organic compounds are hydrocarbons and their derivatives, and study of organic compounds is called as organic chemistry. Okay, so first, before I go into the organic compounds, we'll have to understand about the tetravalence of carbon atom. Carbon has got the atomic number 6. So the electronic configuration, if I see, it is 1s2, 2s2 and 2p2. Correct? So it is 2, 4, 6. Here if you see, the s orbital has got 2 electrons and the p orbital has got 2 electrons. Now this one electron can get excited and it can come to the 2p vacant orbital to get 1 electron each, and the valency becomes 4. So it has got covalency of 4. That means every carbon atom can form 4 bonds. For example, if I take methane, carbon has got 4 hydrogen atom which is bonded to it. So what is the covalency, or how many bonds can a carbon atom form? It can form 4 bonds. Okay, so this is the main thing which you need to keep it in mind. Carbon can form 4 bonds, or it has got tetravalency. Okay. Next is about shapes of organic compounds. We already have studied about hybridization in chemical bonding chapter, isn't it? It is the mixing up of the orbitals of different shape and different energies, okay, of the same shell, so that it can give rise to new orbitals of equal number of same shape and same energy. This is hybridization, and we have also learnt about the spatial arrangement of the hybrid orbitals to give a structure or a geometry of the hybridized orbitals, isn't it? So if the type of hybridization, if I know, I can tell the shape of the molecule or the structure of the molecule. So if it is sp2 hybridization, it gets a trigonal planar structure. If it is sp3 hybridized carbon, it is tetrahedral structure. If it is sp hybridization, then it has got a linear structure. And we all have studied about the structure of methane, ethane, ethene and ethine in chemical bonding chapter. So I'll not go into the details about the hybridization and the shape of the organic compounds. Okay. Next is about the structural representation of an organic compound. So there are different methods of representing an organic compound. That is the Lewis structure or the dot structure. Again, we have studied this in chemical bonding chapter, where the electrons, valence electrons, are represented in the form of a dot, and we have learned how to put the Lewis dot structure for different compounds. Correct? So what are the other forms? That is complete or dashed structure, condensed structure or bond line structure formulas. So we'll see each of them, what do they actually mean. Okay. So the first one is complete or the dash structure. I told you all Lewis dot structure I shall not explain here, as I have already explained in chemical bonding chapter. So the other three types I will explain. First being complete or dash structure. In this, every bond is written in the form of a dash or a line. You can see here ethane, it is having 2 carbon atoms and 6 hydrogen atom. Every carbon atom is having 4 bond. Carbon hydrogen, between carbon and hydrogen there is a line, a dash, that means there is a bond. Between one more carbon, same carbon and the hydrogen, there is one more dash, so one more bond. With the same carbon and another hydrogen, there is one more line, that means there is one more bond. Between the 2 carbon atoms, there is a single line, that means there is a single bond between the 2 carbon atoms, and similarly for all the hydrogen atoms it is shown. If you see ethene structure, between the 2 carbon atoms, 2 lines are put, that means it is a double bond which is present between the 2 carbon atoms. So ethyne, I can write it as carbon and carbon, where 3 bonds I will show, that means it's a triple bond and it has got a H and H. This is ethyne. So if you are representing every bond in the form of a dash or a line and write the complete structure, we call it as complete structure or the dash structure. Okay. Next is the condensed structure formula. Condensed structure formula, you do not show all the bonds. Some of the bonds you can show, that is usually double bond and triple bond is shown, and the single bonds are just omitted out. Okay. So you can see ethane, I can just write CH3, CH3, or I can write it as CH3 bonded CH3, or I can also write it as C2H6, where it is completely condensed. I'm not showing anything. I'm just representing how many carbon atoms are there, how many hydrogen atoms are there. That's it. Okay. Or ethene, you see, only carbon-carbon double bond we have shown. We have not shown all the single bonds which is there between carbon and hydrogen. So complete structure, if I write for this, it is carbon and carbon double bond, hydrogen, hydrogen, one more hydrogen, one more hydrogen. So these dashed lines are taken out. CH2, CH2 is written, only carbon, carbon double bond is shown. Same way for ethane, carbon, carbon triple bond is shown. See, methanol, that is an alcoholic group it has got. If I write the complete structure, it will be carbon, CH3, see here it is CH3, OH. This is the complete structure. but we have condensed and written CH3 OH close to one another, or there is one more way of writing the condensed structure. I can write it like this: CH3OH, where only carbon and oxygen bond I have been representing there. Okay, so if I condense and if I omit out the bonds there or the dashes there and just write the condensed form, we call it as the condensed form of writing the organic compound. So next we have the bond line structural representation. In bond line structural representation, we do not write carbon and hydrogen at all. Only if there are any other atoms other than carbon and hydrogen, we represent them. And also the hydrocarbon is written in the zigzag form. The chain is written in the zigzag form, where the terminal is the CH3 groups and the junctions are carbon with appropriate number of hydrogen atoms. Now, for example, we can see this particular compound. We have CH3, CH2, CH, CH3, CH2, 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 CH3. Now here you can see this particular compound, carbon atom has got 1, 2, 3 and 4 bonds, but it is only CH. Here rest all junctions, it is CH2 group. Terminals, what is there? It is CH3. Here also there is a terminal which is CH3. So the entire thing, I am not showing any carbon and hydrogen. I just write it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and one side chain is there. So the terminal, what is there? I have 1, 2 and 3 CH3 groups, and every junction is carbon with appropriate number of hydrogen so that the valency comes up to 4. Okay. Now, same way cyclopropane I have, you see, CH2, 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 it is a cyclic compound. I just put it in the form of a triangle. That means every junction is CH2 group. Same way, for example, I'll take this CH3, CH2, CH2, CH, CH3, CH2. Now, how am I going to write the bond line structure? See, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and the fourth carbon atom has got the CH3 group is there. So, I just put it this way. So, this is CH3, CH2, one more CH2, this is CH and this is CH3 and I put a line here. That means I have one CH3 group, second CH3 group, third CH3 group, 1, 2, 2 CH2 groups and this is CH group. So, I'll have to just write it as 1, 2, 3, 4 and one bond like this. So, this is the bond line structure of this particular compound. Okay. So, you are not writing any carbon and hydrogen, you are just putting it in the form of a zigzag. And the terminals, you remember, it should be CH3 groups, and in the junction it is carbon with hydrogen, that is appropriate number of hydrogen so that the valency is maintained as 4. So, this kind of structures is very important to understand how to write, especially for your competitive exams. Okay. So, that's about the bond line structure. I hope you have understood all the 4 types of representation: Lewis dot structure, complete structure, condensed structure and the bond line structure. Okay. Next we are going into the 3-dimensional representation of the organic molecule. Here, for example, we have methane, CH4. Here carbon atom is sp3 hybridized and it has got a tetrahedral structure. Now, for every carbon atom, that is sp3 hybridized orbital is bonding with the hydrogen atom to form sigma bond. So, we have 2 hydrogen carbon with hydrogen bonds, and if you are just writing it in the form of a line, that means the bonds are in the plane of paper. So, this is the paper, they are in the same plane, that's why we are just showing it in the form of line. If you are putting a dashed wedge, you can see it's a dashed wedge, just a line dashed wedge you are putting, then it is the bond away from the observer. It is the bond is there away from the observer. If I am observing this way, it's away from me, it's going behind. Okay, it's towards away from the observer, and the solid wedge if you put, it is towards the observer. Okay, so methane if I consider this is my CH4 group, okay, carbon is there, 2 bonds are there in the same plane, 1 bond is there away from me, 1 bond is there towards me. So if I put a solid wedge, that bond is there towards the observer, and if it's a dashed wedge, it's away from the observer. Just the line is there, it is the bond which is there in the plane of the paper. Okay, so we have to take care when you're seeing the three-dimensional representation of any organic compound. So we use bond, just the line, dashed line, plane of paper, wedged, dashed wedge away from the observer, solid wedge towards the observer. I hope you understood what do you mean by this. Is the solid wedge where this is colored. Okay. Dashed wedge is like this, solid wedge is like this. Okay, dashed anta helidre all lines are dashed there. Solid wedge means it's completely colored. So this type of wedge is there which is dashed line away from the observer. If this is there, it is towards the observer. Okay, so that's about the three-dimensional representation of an organic compound. Next we have the classification of organic compounds. So organic compounds can be broadly classified as acyclic or open chain, cyclic or closed chain or ring structures. Okay, so either it can be a cyclic compound or it can be an open chain compound. If it's an open chain compound, it can be alkanes, alkenes or alkynes. Okay, that is the hydrocarbons where carbon-carbon single bond is there, carbon-carbon double bond is there. Alkanes means between the carbon atoms single bonds will be there. Alkenes means double bond. Alkynes means between the carbon atom triple bonds are there. I'm not showing the tetravalency. I'm just writing what do you mean by alkanes, alkenes and alkynes. In cyclic, they are of two types, that is homocyclic and heterocyclic. Homocyclic means it's a cyclic compound with the same group of atoms which is repeated. Heterocyclic means there is something extra in that. Hetero means something is extra there. And homocyclic further alicyclic and aromatic. Aromatic further two types, benzenoid and non-benzenoids. So we learn each of them in detail about classification. So the first one is open chain or acyclic. Acyclic anta helidre cycle illa, acyclic. Okay, or open chain structure. Here these are called as aliphatic compounds. This word I'll be using a lot. Aliphatic means open chain, aromatic means benzene ring is there. Always remember, as soon as I tell aliphatic, you should understand there is an open chain structure. Aromatic, if I tell, it is a benzene ring. Usually what we are learning here is about the benzene ring structures. Okay, so aliphatic compound, they contain open chain structures, or the carbon atom is in the straight chain form. Okay, or it is open chain, it is not in the form of a ring. Then example I can give ethane, isobutane. Okay, that is 4 carbon atoms are there in the form of a chain. Okay, acetaldehyde, acetic acid. Don't worry, more detailed about the naming I shall explain in the next class in the IUPAC naming. Okay, so these are open chain structure where there is no ring. Next is cyclic or closed chain compounds, in which the compounds contain ring structure. Further, it is of two types, homocyclic and heterocyclic. So what is homocyclic compounds? These are compounds that contain rings which is made up of only one kind of atoms. It is made up of only one type of group of atoms, or only one type of one kind of atoms are present in that. Okay, they are further of two types, alicyclic and aromatic compounds. So what is it? Alicyclic means these are compounds which are joined by carbon atoms. Okay, by covalent bond is present to form a ring. For example, it is just carbon-carbon single bonds are there, or it is the carbon atom which is there, which is forming or it is there in the form of a ring structure. Okay, cyclopropane or cyclohexane. Here if you see cyclopropane, it is CH2, CH2, CH2. All are same, no? CH2 group only are there in all the three positions. Cyclohexane also. Here there is a CH2 group, here also CH2 group, here there is a CH2, 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 CH2. So there are 6 CH2 groups which is there in the form of a ring. They are all same kind of group. CH2 group only is present. So they are called as alicyclic compounds. Okay. The other one is aromatic compounds. Aromatic compounds, we use the word when there is a benzene ring. What is it? If there is a benzene ring, we call them as aromatic compounds. Under aromatic compounds, again two types, benzenoid, non-benzenoid. So benzenoid means they contain benzene ring. Okay, benzene ring is there. Along with that, there are some other groups which is present also, it is okay. They are all having what? Benzene ring is the main thing what is present. They are benzenoid compounds or benzenoid structures. Next we have non-benzenoid compounds. What is the meaning of non-benzenoid compounds? You can see here. Here there is no benzene ring, but it is a ring structure. Okay. Then we call it as non-benzenoid compounds. Okay, they have carbon-carbon double bond just like benzene it is, but it is not having a benzene ring. We call it as the non-benzenoid compounds. Okay, they are aromatic but non-benzenoid. Next one is about heterocyclic compounds. Now, what are heterocyclic compounds? These are compounds containing ring structure in which one or more carbon atoms are replaced by heteroatoms like nitrogen, sulfur or oxygen. So, it is just like aromatic structure it is there, but then one of the CH2 groups or the carbon atom is substituted by oxygen, or it can be sulfur, or it can be nitrogen. Then we call it as heterocyclic compounds. Okay. So, that's about the classification of organic compounds. Next is about the homologous series. Now, what are homologous series and what are the characteristics of homologous series is a very important question for your exam. It can be asked for 2 marks. Okay. So, what does homologous series mean? That is a series of closely related organic compounds which can be represented by the general formula is called as the homologous series. So, I can put alkanes for example, they have a general formula CnH2n plus 2. Okay, what is it? CnH2n plus 2. For alkanes, I can give this. For alkene, CnH2n. For alkyne, CnH2n minus 2 we will give. Correct? So, this is a group of organic compounds, or I can tell it is a family of organic compounds in which I can get all the compounds, or I can represent all the compounds with one general formula. For example, if n is equal to 1, then I'll get C, n is 1. If n is 1, so 2 into 1 is 2, plus 2 is 4. I got methane. If now n is equal to 2, then it is C2H6. Okay. When n is equal to 3, C3, 3 2s are 6 plus 2, 7, 8. So, I am getting all the compounds in the increasing order of their number of carbon atoms. See, carbon 1, carbon 2, carbon 3, it is going on increasing. So, this is called as the homologous series. So, what are the characteristics of homologous series? All the members obey the same general formula. Okay. Next, every successive member differ by CH2 group. You can see here, CH4 to C2H6 is differing by just CH2 group. Difference from this to this is CH2 group. Difference from this to this is again one more CH2 group. Correct? So, they differ by every methylene group. CH2 group is called as the methylene group. Okay? They have similar chemical properties and the physical properties vary gradually. That I can tell as the number of carbon atom is increasing, their molecular mass is going on increasing, their density is going on increasing. So, I can tell gradual increase or decrease in the physical property we can see. Okay. Then these members of the series can be prepared by same general method. So, these are the characteristics of homologous series. So, what do you mean by homologous series? It is closely related organic compounds which can be represented by the general formula. The definition is really very important for you all to learn. Okay. Next one is about the functional group. Now, what is the meaning of functional group. It is a atom or a group of atom which determine the property of an organic compound. For example, I tell alcohols. I know all alcohols have got OH group. For example, here I have written ethanol. So, functional group of alcohol is OH group. Aldehyde functional group is CHO group. That means I can write any aldehyde. I will write here CH3, CH2, CHO. This is an aldehyde. But how do I know it's an aldehyde? Because it has got CHO group. Similarly, ketone, I will tell acetone. Acetone, CH3, C double bond O, CH3. So it has got C double bond O, carbonyl group is present in ketone. Or I can tell carboxylic acid, acid group is COOH group. Amine, it contains NH2 group. So all amines have got NH2 group, all acids should have C double, or carboxylic acid should have COOH group, aldehydes should have CHO group. So there's a group of atoms which determine what type of organic compound it is. So that is called as a functional group. I hope you have understood about today's basics class, which is of organic chemistry. Next class, we'll be learning about the nomenclature of organic compounds. Okay? A very, very important topic. I'll do it in the next class. Thank you, my dear children. Stay tuned, stay focused.